Hi guys, Richkingretro here. How you doing? I haven't done a video for a couple of weeks, so yeah. With it being winter, it's all slowly like dying down, the pickups. I'll still be doing some charity shop videos, but there's never anything around in the charity shops. So yeah. So first of all, thanks to all of my subscribers. I've picked up quite a few over the last couple of weeks. So yeah, I'm nearly 900, I think. So I think I'm 3 or 4 off 900. So thank you everyone who's liking and sharing and looking back at my old videos. There will be a collection video soon. I don't know. Normally in the winter, I normally just do a video of every single game I've got. So, but it's all on the shelf. So I don't know whether to pull all the Mega Drive games off, put them on the floor, and do a collection video like I used to. Just film what I've got, or just get a camera, just be lazy and just do that. But yeah, then you won't be able to see like the cover and stuff. So I might start with obviously my Final Fantasy games and Zelda games first and see how it goes. I've got 3 or 4 days off next week. Yeah, so what I've been up to in the Richkingretro world? Well, basically last week, or no, not last week, must be a couple of weeks ago now. Must be a good 10 days ago. I went for a retro gaming musical weekend. So yeah, so I went up to London. I worked on the Saturday, I went to Distant Worlds and Video Games Live, and honestly, it was absolutely amazing. As a country boy from the southwest, I just love London. People probably hate living in London. I hate living in Cornwall, and people come on holiday. I'm like, why do you come on holiday to here? It's like boring. But in London, there seemed to be so much to see, so much to do. I saw more women at the bloody train station. Different women anyway, more women at the train station than having Cornwall. Fucking yeah, it was bloody crazy, man. It was bloody crazy. But yeah, so I caught the train. I think it was about 1:45, and then we had to go for some reason through Swindon. So the train was like half an hour running, half an hour later than normal. But yeah, I got into probably Paddington Station about 6:30, and then I thought, do I go to the hotel or to get changed? Or even though I had a shower before I got on the train, because I hate going on the train, just like all hot and sweaty on the train. But yeah, so I just went straight to Distant Worlds. By the time I actually got to the Royal Albert Hall, it was about 7:20. So I was like pretty lucky that I didn't actually go to my hotel, because my hotel was in the middle of nowhere. Absolutely horrendous, the hotel, I'll tell you in a minute. But yeah, Distant Worlds was absolutely amazing. I couldn't believe it. It's the thing is, it was the 3rd or 4th time they'd been to London, so all my favourite songs they didn't play with all, but they all did the 2nd and 3rd songs from each one. They did basically Final Fantasy 6. They did Final Fantasy 6 for fun. They did some of obviously the new orchestra from the newer game, Final Fantasy 14 and 13 and all that lot. Realm Reborn, I think they did one as well, which I'm not really interested. I was more interested in 7 and 8. And 10, so yeah, I think they started off with 10. So yeah, the atmosphere was amazing. I've never been to the Royal Albert Hall. What a nice place that was. They did sort the news out though, but yeah, it was just amazing. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, I randomly, obviously, I was meeting a friend up there. So I was meeting Ewan up there. He's a good lad. He is. He literally messaged me saying, "Oh, you're getting Distant World tickets. I'm in the queue for them now, just on the internet." And I'm like, "Shit, Distant World tickets!" So I went on there. So I was only able to get one. So I thought I'd be in the worst place ever, but I was exactly in line with the stage, just above. So sort of here was the orchestra, and I sort of tried to film some of it. Do I film the orchestra? Do I film? And my camera's going in and out. Yeah, but it was really good. Yeah, I watched the orchestra, and then you sort of had the video game footage of the actual of the video game as well. But it was brilliant. I've got a program. Well, not really a program, which is really weird. So yeah, I spent £15 on I thought it was a program, so I didn't actually read it well. Some guy came out and I thought, oh, I may as well get the program, bit of memorabilia. And then when I actually got home and actually looked at it, it just says Distant Worlds. It had obviously the composers, Mr. Roth, Uemitsu, and it had all the Final Fantasy songs, which they didn't do in the night, but what they've actually done over the years. So they did quite a lot. The Chuckaboo theme was quite funny as well. So, yeah, the only annoying thing about it was he seems to talk for 5 minutes in between every song. And in the end, I was thinking, mate, just say it's from Final Fantasy X. Say the name and get on with it. You could have fitted 2 or 3 more songs in. But yeah, the program was just basically they copied and pasted the back of every single Final Fantasy game and then just put it in the book, which I've already got anyway because I got it on the back of all my bloody games. And that was the program. I thought it'd be a bit more detail, maybe sometimes they always have I thought there'd be a bit more detail. Are they coming back to London? But yeah, I think the London venues, I just said London was the last one, but maybe they just started, I'm not sure. But yeah, it was really good. It's quite funny. They sort of said, it's the Square Onyx team. And everyone's like cheering. I'm like, boo! Like, bring back Squaresoft. Boo! Bloody Lightning Returns. Boo! Oh, there's someone at the door. Yeah. Take a parcel for next door. What the fuck? Okay, when do I get parcels delivered? They never do it to people next door. Fucking, I get loads of them. Fucking idiots. It's quite cold but hot. It's hot though. Yeah, so it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I had a few beers, obviously. So I was like halfway through. I was like bursting for a piss. But luckily they had an interval. I'm like, interval? I'm like, cool, quality. And then they had like 2 cubicles to about 100 people. So I'm thinking, oh my god. Obviously it's a really old building. So it took like 20 minutes to go for a piss. And then I had some random Japanese beer. So that was weird. I don't know what that was. But yeah, so I've had some random Japanese beer. I took a photo on Twitter about it. But yeah, it was really good actually. I enjoyed it so much. I met up with a couple of YouTube guys. I was just like messaging them as I'm getting there. I'm like, I'm nearly there, I'm nearly there, nearly there. So I met them outside. Did I meet them outside before? No, I didn't actually, no. I met outside afterwards. But I was like saying, I've made it. They're like, oh, where are you? I'm like, oh, just right at the stage. And they were obviously looking for me, I'm looking for them. And then I'm like, oh. I looked to my left and they were there. So yeah, it was really good. There's also a spare seat next to me for about 3/4 of the show. And then some guy like randomly turned up near the end. It was like, oh, damn it. Like, I think he missed his train or missed his bus. So he like missed the concert. But it was really good. Yeah, I really loved it. The Final Fantasy music is pretty emotional when you just sort of there in the room as well. I was like nearly crying. I was like, I remember this song, this was so good. But they did I did some Final Fantasy 9, which I think is an underrated game. It's so brilliant. Really good. Okay, so next, I met up with the YouTube guys. We just sat outside. I was supposed to go for beers with my friend Ewan, but he's got like a new girlfriend, and she's like so obsessive and crazy. Like she probably wouldn't even. He came over and said hello. He goes, "Oh, we'll go out for a beer in a minute," but you can sort of see her like basically dragging him off somewhere. So it's the only reason he went to London, I think, because her parents lived there and she like dragged him away. But yeah, so we went for a McDonald's afterwards, and I'm thinking, oh, this is about 12, half 12. I'm thinking there's still like it's a Saturday night. It's still like 11:30 and stuff. There's still like shops open and stuff. I'm like, what the hell? There's like loads of shops open at 9:30. Couldn't believe it. Still bloody like all the shops in bloody Gilbert were closed at like 4:30, 5 o'clock on Saturday. But when I was just going a distant one, it was about 7:30. There's still like shops open. I'm sure when I came out, like maybe I had too many beers, but yeah, when I came out, there still seemed to be like a couple of shops still open. I'm like, bloody hell. So yeah, it's a completely different world, man. Completely different world, London. I just love it. Anyway, I went for a McDonald's. Got to about 12:30. I'm thinking, okay, I need to find my hotel. Kept on looking at the underground map, thinking, oh, whatever station I get off, it's like, it says like a 10-minute walk. So I thought, oh, okay, cool. So yeah, I got off the tube, started to walk. I'm thinking, this is longer than 10 minutes, but I realised on the Google Maps I must have pressed car. So like 10 minutes in the car, like 45 minutes, like an hour walk on foot. So I'm walking around London, like, oh god. It was like I was staying at London Battersea, so I got off at some random, I think it was like Fulham or something, and then it took about an hour for me to walk there. I'm like, I don't know if I was walking the back streets of London, but there was one minute it's like scabby houses, next minute it's like fucking mansions or something. It was really weird. Then I had to cross the river as well. I'm like, oh, I couldn't even find a taxi from the tube station. So I tried to get like a random bus. I'm like, I'm trying to get to London Battersea, mate. But obviously the bus drivers probably only do their route, and London Battersea is probably just too far from them. So he only knew like the Fulham route, where there's probably about 10 like little bus stops just going around in a circle. He's like, I don't know. He goes, I don't know where London Battersea is. I'm like, what? Apparently it's that way, mate. So it's big helpful. So I thought, sod it. I thought there's loads of people walking this way. You know, let's just follow them. I'm not gonna get mugged or beaten up. But yeah, I finally found my travel lodge. But yeah, it was only like I think it was £30 a night in the end. But yeah, no wonder it's £30 a night. It was like nowhere near a tube station, and like in the middle of nowhere. But yeah, I haven't been to London Battersea, that area, for a good 10 years, and I remember it being pretty run down. And now there's like loads of like flats for like 500,000, 400,000, and these little flats because they've all done so many new buildings. It's like completely changed. Yeah, so I finally got to the travel lodge. I was supposed to be staying 2 nights, but because of work commitments, I had to come back on, I think it's on, yeah, Sunday night. But, yeah, so Sunday, I was so knackered from the night before. I didn't get up to about 11 or 12. And I went to Heart of Gaming, yeah. It's just like this arcade place. It's so funny, you like look on the bloody map thing. Oh, it's only like a 5-minute walk, and then once you get there in real life, it's like a 20-minute walk. So I went to Heart of Gaming. I think it was Acton North or North Action or something. So yeah, so I got off at that station, walked over. That was about half an hour walk. It seemed to be like a random industrial estate. I'm like, whoa, this is weird. But yeah, finally found the place. I'm sure it said online it was £6, and then the guy was like, oh, it's like £10 for the day. I'm thinking, mate, it's only 1 o'clock. I'm only going to be here for a few hours. So luckily I was able to pay £6. There's loads of arcade machines there, loads of the old Japanese like cabs. So yeah, so I was there for a couple of hours just playing random games. So that was I really enjoyed that actually. And also noticed, if you ever watch Video Games Nation, I think that's on Saturday nights, about 11 o'clock on some random channel, either Challenge or somewhere around there, or it used to be Challenge. Yeah, they must do some filming there as well, because I'm sure like all the arcade machines in the background, that's the same arcade machines. But yeah. So it's really good going in there actually. So next time I actually go to London, I think it's must be around May, either the end of May or the beginning of May. No, beginning of May is Blackpool, end of May is UK Games Expo, which is ball games. I think it's June, end of June, we're going up there to the Film and TV Comic Con, wherever it is. So yeah, so there's loads of, we actually all from friends from Cornwall actually going to go. So we're going to go there afterwards, I think, in the evenings, because it looks really good in the evenings. Yeah, so I had obviously my friend Ewan, he was actually coming to me with Video Games Live, so I had like 2 tickets, but he lived in Cornwall, and when I booked the tickets in probably February, obviously didn't live in London, so yeah, he only moved to London about 3 weeks ago, so he couldn't go because he was working. He's got a new job up there, and obviously he's only been there for a few weeks, and trying to obviously change shift and say he can't work when you've only just like arrived in London. So I was like, oh, I got a spare ticket. So I mentioned it to Retro Chef, and he said he will come, and then I didn't have his phone number or anything, so I kept on sort of like trying to send him a message on YouTube, and then by the time he actually got back to me, I found Gashead. Gashead came along. So yeah, I was like messaging Gashead when I'm just like at the heart of gaming, and he goes, what is this? And I sort of like, I don't know where he looked on YouTube for it, and it was really good, mate. I think it was probably better than Distant Worlds, but yeah, Video Games Live, just lots of different video games like musical. There's the orchestra. So yeah, so I decided to go over from where I was, yeah, the heart of gaming. And I had to go to, was it Hammersmith? Because it was Hammersmith Apollo. But I got off at extra tube stations earlier, like Shepherd's Bush. Because I remember when I got off at Shepherd's Bush, I was going to somewhere else. And I remember seeing, I don't know, I'm trying to think, what actually happened? Oh yeah, actually I think the Fulham train, when I had to get off at Shepherd's Bush to go on like a different train to go to North Action. And when I did that, I remember seeing a Wetherspoons. Yeah, so I thought, I need some fucking food. It's 4 o'clock. It's 4:30. I need some food. And I'm thinking, I'm missing like the random football game, because there was a football, I think it was Man United, Man City on as well. So I might have missed that. But yeah, I remember. So yeah, so I went to Wetherspoons, ordered my food. Bloody hell, it was so funny. All the waitresses were like English, and all the people behind the bar were like Polish, and they couldn't understand a thing. It was so funny. It was bloody hilarious. It was hilarious. They couldn't understand half what people were saying. I'm like, oh my god, this is slow. It's cute. So I ordered my food, burger and chips, because that's all I eat, is basically burger and chips. And I asked for like bread and butter. And then about 25 minutes later, some random woman comes up and goes, oh, we don't have any chips. Didn't the guy tell you behind the bar? I'm like, no. I'm like, you don't have any chips? What a disgrace. So like a 5-minute fucking Richkingretro rant at him, thinking, there's a Morrison's downstairs. You obviously knew you were bloody running out of chips. Why didn't you just buy shitloads of bags of chips from Morrison's? Because there's a local like shopping centre. Like, why didn't you buy any? And then yeah, so I decided to get jacket potato because I was fucking hungry. Yeah, so I had my burger and my jacket, and yeah, so that meal was done. I wasn't happy because I wanted some bloody chips. And this was probably about 5:15, 5:30, and this was on a Sunday. And then obviously I was just leaving the shopping centre, and then CEX was still open. I'm like, what? CEX is still open at like 5:20 on a Sunday? What the hell? So I went into CEX, just looked around. They actually had some PS1 games, actually. So yeah, Shepherd Bush, they had some PS1 games. I think they were like £2 each, and then some of the other sort of like Tomb Raiders, they were like £4.99. So they were okay prices, better than some of the video game shops. Which, to be honest, I wish I got up early on the Sunday and then went to Play Nations and went to a few more game shops, but I had no money. It cost so much money for the weekend with both tickets and the train. So yeah, so I didn't actually buy anything in the end. So I went over to Hammersmith Apollo. I think they would. Yeah, I got there about, must be about 6, half 6. Yeah, I think I got there at 6 actually. Yeah, I got there about 6 because I thought, oh, I'm gonna stomp over there. Because it says like they could let you in from 7, so I thought, oh, is there gonna be a queue? Is there not gonna be a queue? And I got there about 6, and there was like about 3 people there. So I just went to bloody hell. Sneezing a bit. What the fuck? Oh, okay. Calm down. Yeah, there's another like random like shopping centre. So I went in the shopping centre there, and everything's to be open again, man. I was like, what the hell? This is crazy. Everything's all open on a Sunday. I guess it was sort of like Tesco's in there, random like food joints. So I guess they can actually open a bit later. But bloody in Plymouth, they were closed by like bloody 3:30, 4 o'clock. It's bloody ridiculous. It was so busy. Yeah, so I was just there waiting on just on the post for Gashead. He said he was on his way. I think it's about 6:15. So he's going to be half an hour, 45 minutes or so. And then there was loads of Bulgarian. I thought they were Polish. There's loads of Polish people like around. I'm thinking, what's going on here? And then some guy came out, and they were like all taking photos of him. What's this guy? And realised with the Video Games Live, they had like a Bulgarian. I think it's Bulgarian like orchestra. So they must have been some people from the Bulgarian orchestra, and loads of random Bulgarians came down, took photos of them. There's a person dressed up as a chocobo. So yeah, outside cosplay. So there's quite a few cosplays. So yeah, they let us in at 7, but the show didn't start at 8. So me and met up with Gashead. Alright, mate. Had a few beers, had a good chat. So it was well funny. Talking about YouTube connections, me living in Cornwall, me moving house. Just like with the saying, it's just sometimes hard to watch everyone's videos because I subscribe to everybody. It's so hard to like fit so many people's videos in. Sometimes it's easy to fit like, I don't know, 4 or 5 people's videos like 10 minutes long instead of 1 hour long. Even though I do really long ones, so yeah. So sometimes you miss out on a little bit of content for people's YouTube channels because sometimes you watch others and you think, oh, I did him last week, I'm going to do someone else this week. So we had a good chat. And yeah, so the show started at 8 o'clock, went down, had a few beers. As you do. There's a guy sitting behind us all through the show was going, woo! Woo! I'm thinking, fucking shut up, Ric Flair. Woo! Did it for the whole show, and I was like, really? I do my head in, but yeah, it was really good. Check out my video. I did like a little bit of a video of Video Games Live, but yeah, it was really good. I wish I got a program actually. They did quite a lot of games I liked. I wanted God of War. They didn't do God of War. They did Final Fantasy. They brought out some random like mosh band, Random Encounter. So they're from America. So yeah, so they're like video. They do like video game covers, but it's like rock and moshy. So they came out. And I think they did Zelda. So yeah, it was really good. They did like League of Legends. I'm trying to go through them all. They did so many. I can't even remember half of them. They did League of Legends, Warcraft, and in between each section as well, they had like a little like random like 10 seconds like video game, like I think it was like Scorpion versus Donkey Kong, and Scorpion came along and just like, get over here, and just pulled like Donkey Kong through like just pulled him to him, yeah, a bit like that. And there's like that Chuck Norris one, which I've seen before on the internet, and they had like that one, so it was weird, really weird. What was the other one? Pac-Man versus somebody as well, but yeah, it was really good. Such a good show. I did an interview on that as well. Got some more beers, I think. So yeah, it was just a really good weekend. That didn't finish till like 11:15. My train was like 10 to 12, and obviously because of the weekend, I'm thinking, oh my god, I didn't know how to get back. So and then you're like, chill, go outside. Quickly stomp on, trying to find the right tube train. Tube train to get home. Yeah, so finally made it to the station, had a quick McDonald's, and then I got on the train. And they were like, tickets please, and then I couldn't find my ticket to get home, and I'm like, oh my god, my god, tickets are fun. I'm like, obviously you have the reservation ticket, I'd like, for some reason, I'd sort of keep my random underground tickets, thinking, why have I, because I think I purchased like the wrong one at one point, so I had like random like receipts with like underground tickets or whatever. And then I'm sure like half the time I was thinking, oh, I'm sure the underground machine is supposed to swallow this ticket, but it didn't actually swallow it, so it was really weird. Well, maybe because obviously I did like a day ticket both days, maybe, and then in the end kept the ticket. Yeah, maybe that was it. But then I realised, because it was like Saturday, and it got past, I did like a day ticket for Saturday, and then it got past like 12 o'clock. I was thinking, maybe I can't use this fucking day ticket, because it's a different day. That's when I purchased another day ticket for Sunday, and that worked all Sunday. That sounded like tickets coming out my ears. Oh, it's so funny. Yeah, so I got on the train, and then I couldn't find my ticket. I had a reservation for the actual number for the way home, and then the guy goes, oh, you're going to have to pay. And I'm like, no. And I was thinking, I had a ticket from like, from basically Cornwall to London. I'm thinking, this one hasn't been stamped. And I'm thinking, what? And then I was quickly looking through my bag, and then luckily I found the ticket from Liskeard to London. And then, yeah, it was Liskeard to London hadn't been stamped, but the London to Liskeard, that one had been stamped. So when I handed the tickets, because I said, I've got too many tickets here, which one's the right one? Even though you think tickets are easy, but you got the reservation ticket, there's one with like your dress on and all this crap. But in the end, I just gave her about 4 or 5 tickets, and she's obviously stamped the one from London to Liskeard instead of Liskeard to London. And the guy was like, oh, you've already used this? And I'm thinking, this is my reservation, mate. This is the time, this is the train. Obviously, I haven't used it. I'm not going to go back from bloody London to Liskeard and then get from Liskeard to London again just to catch another train from bloody London to Liskeard. And he's like, oh, okay. So he bloody stamped it. I'm like, oh, fuck, well, because I thought I was going to pay like 50, 60 quid. I know, I think it was actually 72 quid, I think, something stupid like that. Because some other guy left his tickets at home, he had to pay 72 quid. Because we were all there standing there going, no, he left it at home. I'm thinking, great, I've got half my tickets here, I've got half the reservation number, I've got my ticket. He's like, it cost like 70 quid to get home. Yeah, it was a bloody night sleeper train, which was really annoying. So yeah, it takes about 7 hours to get from London to Cornwall. I had a reservation with like one little table about this big, and there's like one guy there, and I'm thinking, what? And all the other like seats had like a bloody table, and everyone seemed to have like one seat on their own with like a table and 3 empty seats. I'm like, oh, what am I here? But luckily, I thought I'll get up and just search the train for another one, and I was able to find like I said, yeah, just a table for no one in there. I was sat there, for, oh my god, just sleeping. Yeah, the sleeper train is really weird. They left like the lights on, so you can't even go to sleep. And then they basically do the exact same times you go to the train stations, but then you would wait at the train station for an hour. So we got to Exeter, I would say, in the same amount of time it normally does on a normal train, but we just stayed at Exeter train station, because I was thinking, oh my god, it's 3:30. I thought, quality, I thought we were going to be here at 4:30. Oh, I'm going to get back like an hour early. But then they were like, and then they just stayed there for like an hour at the train station, because all the train station lights are bloody coming through like the train. I'm like, oh, okay, how are you supposed to sleep? What kind of night sleeper is this when they've got the lights on inside, and you have to stop at the train station? I thought they just do like 30 miles an hour all the way there, just slowly go boom, 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 boom. Not 70 miles an hour to get to the train station, and then wait there for an hour. So that was really frustrating. And then I finally get to Plymouth, which is sort of like the big train station in the area. And once again, we waited for an hour, but I only lived like, I wish I parked my car there, because I could have been home in like 25 minutes if I drove. Because we were waiting there in the station, and this is like 6 in the morning, we waited, I think it was like 5:30? Yeah, 5:30. So we waited there for like an hour. I'm like, oh my god, this is painful. I literally I want to go home. I need sleep, because I'll start work at like 8. I'm like, just want to go home. Why didn't I drive a car? So we're there for an hour, till like 6:30, and then and then to get home from Plymouth to Liskeard, it takes like 35 minutes on the bloody train. Sometimes it's quicker than drive, so it was like an hour and a half, which I could have done the journey in 25 minutes. But the strange thing was, because I was like half asleep, I was all spaced out. On the way to sort of Plymouth, I was like facing the way I was going, where the train was going. So I was like, obviously, when it got to Plymouth, I was like, oh, I had like a half an hour nap and then woke up. And then the train was going backwards. I was going backwards. I was like, what the fuck? So I was like quickly running down trying to find the conductor. I'm like, excuse me, I'm trying to get the lift car, but the train's going in a different direction. Because I thought I was like bloody going back to Exeter. We said, oh, we had to turn the train around to go over like the bridge. If you go to Cornwall, there's like this AKA, I don't know, it was called Berlin or something, Brunel or something, AKA Brunel. Yeah, he's got like a bridge there, and they had to sort of like turn around in a circle and then go like the opposite direction. And I'm like, oh, thank God for that, because I thought it was going in a different direction. But yeah, that was really sketchy. So I finally got off the train at like 7:10. Drove home like a crazy man. Yeah, had a shower and went to work. But yeah, it was a really good weekend had by all, or just by me and Gazhead and my mate Ewan, a couple of YouTubers. Yeah, so it was really brilliant. And then on Monday morning, suddenly I get obviously Retro Gamer in the post, and they suddenly have an article on Video Games Live. And I'm like, oh, thanks for that. Where is it? I'm sure it was in here. No, maybe it's not here then. Yeah, they did music from Monkey Island. It's really weird. It's like looking at the pictures in here. I'm sure they did. Yeah, I'm sure they did. Yeah. So suddenly on Monday morning, they had a bloody article on Video Games Live, thinking, damn it, why didn't you have that on bloody? Why didn't they get that on Friday or like a month before Video Games Live actually happened? So people who actually read the magazine would think, oh, that's really good to go to. Would want to go to it. But there's loads of surprising the amount of like young people that were there actually. Did feel a bit old. I'm sure it's here. Oh, there it is. Found it. Yeah, Video Games Live. I'm like, cheers, thanks for the article. 2 or 3 days after the show actually happened. But yeah, the guy, what's it called, Tomo? Yeah, he actually got like presented with like a Guinness Book of Records for like the most composed like video game music on stage, and like the longest video game show ever, I think, was like loads of shows. So well done to the guy. But yeah, it was a really good show. The way it was done, it was really good. So, and then there's a guy who looked like Jaws from the Bulgarian orchestra. I'm like, it's Jaws. He's alive. Oh, like another random video. But yeah, that was just my random trip away. I do sort of like ratter on and just like fucking just. The stories are always quite funny. But yeah, so I finally got to work about 8 o'clock. I'm like, oh my God for that. I thought I was going in the wrong direction. Didn't think I was going to make it. But yeah, cheers guys. Yeah, there's not much pickups to be honest. I've been looking on eBay. There's like nothing. Gumtree. There's not much out there really. It's sort of, obviously it's the end of the car boot season. Well, that's about a month ago. Everyone's wise to it now, so they're all doing it on the Facebook pages. And when you do see something local on the Facebook page, especially around here, I guess if you're up north, if you're in the Midlands, you can easily just do an hour. It's like an hour circle where you live, and you cover so many like gaming pages, so many towns and cities that you probably have much more chance of getting video games. When you're down here, an hour, you sort of only got an hour that way and an hour that way instead of like a whole circle. And when you do have an hour that way and an hour that way, there's like only a few towns, so there's not many people. And because we're in Cornwall, it's like a surfer thing. There's not many video retro games around, so yeah. I've done pretty well over the last few years, obviously with the recession and that. But I have to go like further to field. Even Exeter is just like it's getting less and less retro-wise really, and there's more of us seem to be collecting it. But yeah, cheers guys. That was a random Distant Worlds and Video Games Live like weekend chat. So yeah, cheers.